Hello, hello. It is your girl Liba, and today we're going to be talking about one of the most dreaded tasks that every anime figure collector faces at one point or another within their lifetime, facing the value of your anime figure collection. In today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to easily calculate, track, and manage the data revolving around the value of your anime figure collection. I've even created a free downloadable template that mirrors the system that I use, so that if you watch this video and you like what you see, then you can download my template, which will be linked in the description box down below for you to use whenever you want. It's totally free. You don't have to pay for anything. It's just a resource that I wanted to provide to the community. And I do hope that this video will be helpful, because I do know that a lot of my fellow collectors that I've spoken to have talked about how they want to calculate the value of their figure collection, but they just find it to be such a daunting process. And I'm hoping that today's video will help break that down and simplify it and make it easier for everyone. Before we get into today's video, I wanted to let everyone know that I made a Discord channel for my YouTube, and if you're interested in talking to me or other people who collect anime figures who have similar tastes to me or to you, then you should join it. It's pretty fun, it's pretty chill. You know, I'm not a huge YouTuber, so it's a pretty small Discord, but we have fun. But I did want to plug that, and that will also be linked in the description box down below, as well as going forward in every single other video I will be posting. I'll have that in there, and it will also be in my beacons link. So just so you know, I made that. Now I do want to mention that if you have to be 18 years or older to join the Discord, it is an adult only space, so I do apologize to anybody who is under the age of 18, but this is an adult only Discord. Just had to put that out there. Let's get into the meat of the video: tracking the value of your anime figure collection. Now you may be watching this video wondering, like, why should I even bother? Why should I even bother trying to track the value of my anime figure collection? And I will tell you guys a couple reasons why it is important. The first being financial awareness. Personally, for me, I find that the act of calculating and tracking the value of my anime figure collection helped me a lot with conscious consumerism and spending. It's easy to look at your collection, no matter how big or small it is, and be like, oh, word, nice, but I could get some more, without even thinking about how much money you spent. But by doing this, by doing the act of calculating the value of your collection, I feel like you're really able to put your collection into a real quantitative measure and then scale that to your life and the kind of lifestyle that you want and that you're aiming for. For me personally, I feel like I was more clearly able to look at the possessions that I've bought and that I own in my anime figure collection and be like, okay, wow, I've spent a lot, and use that value to then, moving forward, look at Ami pre-owned, look at new figure releases, and be like, do I need to be impulse buying every single figure I love? Like, it really put a lot of stuff in perspective for me. Additionally, by calculating the value of your anime figure collection, if you wanted to, you could then use that for insurance purposes, whether you buy collector's insurance or you just want to put your collection under home or renter's insurance. It's pretty helpful for those kinds of things. You know, you never know if you're gonna get robbed or if your house is gonna burn down. But besides like that extreme, it's just nice to be able to assess the growth and overall worth of your collection. And if you're somebody like me who sells figures as soon as you fall out of love with them, it makes it super easy to be like, how much should I be selling this for? Am I selling this at a loss? Is it even worth it to sell it? So it's just like a really nice thing to have and keep updated. And I feel like even though it is a daunting task, once you get it done, you can really keep this system efficient and manageable. And it really doesn't take that much time out of my life to keep this managed. So hopefully I've sold you on the idea of tracking the value of your anime figure collection, because it's nice, you know, it's nice to be aware. But how should you do it? Well, thankfully for you guys, I'm a very type A anal person when it comes to organizing the things that I have and the things that I'm doing. And because of that, I feel like I've created a great system to manage and track my collection that you can adapt for your collection. So I like to use the app Notion for tracking and managing my anime figure collection. It's basically like iNotes and Excel on steroid. It's a free like note-taking software, so you don't have to pay any money whatsoever to do this. But it's a really robust software and there is tons of customization features, which I really love about it. So not only are you able to track your collection, you're able to do it aesthetically. And I feel like the aesthetics really matter when you're trying to like be organized and track something. Not only is it nice because it's free, it's cloud-based, so you can have it on your computer, or you can have it on your phone, you can have it on your iPad. It's super nice. Sometimes I use it literally, like I'll be like out in public, I'll be like, what figures do I have coming up? Or like, did I get this figure yet? And I'll just like pop open my little template, my little dashboard or whatever, and I can just scroll through it so easily. It's a really awesome software. And I am not sponsored in this video by saying it, I just really like it. So, you know, that's my authentic opinion. But with Notion, I've created a template workbook that I use to manage and track the value of my current collection. Now, I said this in the beginning, but if you like my template and you want to use it, then you totally should, because I have linked it down below for free. It will be free forever. You can always access it at any time because I wanted to create this resource for the community, and I do genuinely hope that it helps. And this might be redundant, but as I said before, I really think that once you tackle the task that is very daunting of tracking the collection, it really is pretty efficient. It's honestly just a matter of initial setup time that takes quite a bit of time, especially if a lot of figures like me. But once you've done that, you'll have every sort of figure you own categorized by type of figure and where you bought it from and when you bought it from, as well as whatever else parameters that you want to add to the template. And once you have it set up, when you want to add figures to it, it literally takes like a minute. It's super quick, it's super easy. So let me get into this template. Let me show you guys what it looks like, what you can do with it, and let's walk through it together. I'll also show you guys how you can export your collections data from my figure collection so that you don't have to manually type in all of the figures you own. Okay, so I'm now small in the corner, and here you can see the tracker that I've created. I wouldn't necessarily call it a dashboard, but it's more so like a workbook, but like an aesthetic workbook, you know? So here we have the front directory page of this collection tracker. Now, if you don't like the design of it, you can completely revamp it. I've tried to make it as gender neutral as possible, but if you download this, feel free to change how it looks. I won't be hurt by you doing so. So here we have the initial page. As you can see, it's your anime figure collection tracker. This is the like table of contents for this. So you have your collection value page, your upcoming figures, and your figure pre-orders monthly. Below, I just put the fact that the template was created by me, because I did make it 100% by scratch. And you can also have below on your little like dashboard homepage some pictures that you like. So I put my little Tomoe custom Nendoroid logo, as well as just some figure photos that I've taken and liked. But again, everything is completely customizable. If you want, you can delete stuff, you can rearrange stuff. This is just how I laid it out for the general public for the free download version. And there is no paid download version. Let me just make that clear. So let's get into the first page, which is your collection value. You can click either. One thing I wanted to note, which you just saw that I did, was I clicked on, if you go back to the initial page, I clicked on this, which hyperlinks to that page. However, you can also use this sidebar to toggle between the different pages in this tracker. Anyways, I digress. Let's move into the collection value page. So this page is the page that is going to calculate the value of your overall collection. It is basically just an Excel spreadsheet. So what you have here, I just put a little aesthetic photo that I got off of like Pinterest. But you have at the top your total value, which is calculated by the sum of this column. And in this table itself, there's multiple columns. So you start off with the figure's name, and then I like to track my collection in USD just because that's my currency of choice. However, you can always change this to whatever currency you desire. But I also included a column for tracking the figure in Japanese yen, in case you are somebody who tracks things by the yen. I personally don't. Moving forward, we have a category column and this has multiple different categories, so you can choose between different figure categories. And if you don't like any of these or you want to add new ones, all you have to do is, you can then go into edit property and add any sort of different categories that you want. So it's really nice. It really truly is customizable, but I just put the basic ones for now. Moving forward though, the next column that I put was the date owned. I like to track when I got my figures so I can know how long I've had them for and where I purchased the figures from. So I've pre-loaded in a lot of your typical websites, but again, all you have to do if you want to add something new is edit the property and then add in whatever website or store that you bought the figure from. And then the final column that I have in this page is the estimated age. So if you want, you can put how old the figure is, because you could potentially have bought like a 2010 figure in 2023. So if you want to track the age of your figures, you're also able to do so in this column. And I feel like these are the best columns for this, but again, if there's any columns that are missing, you can definitely just add columns. What's nice about this table is the running sum that will always update when you add figures to the spreadsheet, and to do so, all you have to do is either click the plus right here. If you have a filter on, it will ask you to remove the sorting, but if you don't, it will just add a column, or you can add it at the bottom. I personally use both methods, but this is really nice. In addition to adding things, you can filter. So you can filter per whatever column you desire, and it's really nice. But let me show you guys how you can get the data in here if you do not have any sort of pre-existing Excel or tracking, if you don't have any pre-existing Excel or tracker whatsoever and you're only using My Figure Collection. So if you're starting from scratch, you don't have to hand type in every single data value of every figure that you own. You can actually export your figure collection data from My Figure Collection, and I'm going to show you guys now how you can do that. Once you export the data, you'll probably export it as an Excel workbook or as a CSV, and then all you have to do is just copy and paste those values into the template, and let's get into how to do that. So here is how you export data from My Figure Collection. As you can see, I am on my personal My Figure Collection profile, and it is actually really easy to export your data. So what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna go and click on your collection. Once you're here, what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna find this manage button right here and click that. And it's going to open up a more back-end view of the database and the data that you've applied to your profile. To export your collections data, all you're gonna do is you're gonna click CSV export. Once you've clicked CSV export, it pulls up every sort of variable that you can export, and you can pick and choose whatever you desire. But once you do that, all you have to do is click CSV export, and as you can see, it downloads your data for you. So you don't have to hand input everything. You can just download your My Figure Collection data and use that to then input into the tracker. Now, if you're curious about what the export looks like, here is what my export data looks like in the Excel export that I've done. I feel like I've said export in Excel a lot. But one thing I do want to note is when you export, oh my gosh, your My Figure Collection data, it is going to export every figure you've ordered, every figure you've owned, and every figure that you've also wished for. So depending on what kind of figures you want to add into your My Figure Collection value tracker, which I'm assuming is your owned figures, you're going to want to apply a filter to this table and then just filter for your own figures, as I've done so right here. Then once you've done that, all you have to do is copy these titles and paste it into the page that I just previously showed you guys. But let's navigate back to that page. So once you've exported everything, it's pretty easy to then just go ahead and copy and paste the figure titles into this figure column right here. But now you have actually reached the difficult part, which is inputting the category, the price, the date owned, where you've purchased from, all that sort of data. And to do so, honestly, you're just gonna have to do those values by hand. For me in my collection, I went through my full email history, and that is how I got all those monetary values, and then I just input everything by hand. Now, if you wanted to, you could do research to determine the accurate aftermarket values for your collections tracker and do it that way. But I did not go that route just for the sake of my mental health and for the sake of time. Now, while I didn't do that, I did consider some figures that I knew the aftermarket value of because they had increased significantly. But that is how you're gonna fill out this page. And now we can move forward into tracking figures that you've paid for, but you don't own. Now, moving forward into the next page. This page is one I've made because I've recently started using websites where I can prepay for my figure pre-orders, like such as Solar's Japan and Good Small US. And I wanted to track these items that I did prepay for because frankly, I would forget about them. And I just wanted to track items that I fully paid for but that are not in my possession because I don't really count those as a part of the full value of the collection. But I also didn't want to forget how much money I paid for them and where I got them from and when I bought them. Now, this page operates the same as the previous page that I just showed, the overall collection value, minus the fact that even though that there is a running sum, you're not updating the value at the top for that running sum. More so you're just tracking how much money you've paid for items. But the page features are the same, so I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory. So you have your figures and their names, the price you paid them for in whatever currency you desire. Again, I just use USD because I'm American, unfortunately. Then we have the Japanese yen price if you want to track that, the category of what kind of figure it is, and I didn't really add a date ordered. I kind of just kept the previous fields. And then again, we have the purchased from and the and the estimated age filters, if you desire adding those. This page operates the same as the last one, but what's nice about it is I can track these figures that I prepaid for, and once I've gotten them, all I do is I change the date owned. So let's say I got this figure today, and then I just copy it, move it to my collection value page. Boop. Once you do that, you can go to the collection value page, and once you've moved it to this page, all you do is you can just pop it in the table and it updates everything. It's super duper convenient, which is why I really like this page. I think it's very helpful. And let's move into the final page of this template, which is the figure pre-orders monthly page. Now I know that most of us use My Figure Collection to track our pre-orders, and you can sort in your pre-orders by month. However, I find that this page is a super helpful additional resource for me because one thing that you can't do on My Figure Collection is track your monthly pre-orders and calculate the total cost of that month. And that is why I've created this page. I think that it's extremely helpful in addition to the My Figure Collection like pre-orders tab, because I'm able to look at the total cost upcoming of the figures that I have on pre-order. And honestly, I think it's really helped me put into perspective how much money I'll be allocating in 1 month to figures. Honestly, this page has helped me a lot to cancel figures because once I've hit like 80,000 yen, 100,000 yen, I kind of sit down and I'm like, shit, like I need to relax because I don't want to be spending more than X amount this month. So let me show you guys how this page operates. It is pretty simple. As you can see on this page thus far, we have a couple months set up. You can see what I'm buying in September, October, December. Theoretically, these aren't my actual pre-orders. And when I want to add another month that I don't have here, all I do is I can just click this new month button. Once that's done, you can change the month. You have to click the month itself and then you can write January. Format it however you like. I do it all caps for the aesthetic. And then I just like copy the yen right here because I don't have a yen on my keyboard. And you can duplicate this header title, change it to whatever shop you're buying from, and then put in your figure data value. So let's just say I'm buying Nendoroid, blah, 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 whatever. Putting in the price, just pretend that it's 36,000 yen. And then I just update this value also up here and keep a running total of that month. Whenever I add a pre-order to it, whenever things get delayed, I just go into this page and I update the values which way I please. It's a pretty simple page. I think it's pretty easy and intuitive to use. And it does honestly help track your fiscal obligations upcoming, as well as put into perspective how much money you're spending, because you don't want to be sucked into just like spending $1,000 and then you're like, oh shit, I forgot about this month. can't get banned from Mommy. So I really like this page. That is the whole template in and of itself. I really like it. A, because it's really aesthetically pleasing, but B, just because it is a super helpful tool that I myself use for tracking and managing the value of my collection and any sort of other collecting related things that I care about. But I also wanted to show you guys some additional features when it comes to customizing the colors, the images, and the text formatting in Notion, because Notion does have a bit of a learning curve. So I'm hoping to simplify that process. And here we are back on the home screen. If you don't like the way I formatted any of the stuff on here, it is very easy to change it. You can change the icon easily to whatever emojis you like. You can rename this tracker whatever you please. You can change the colors of the background or of the text itself. You can change the cover image, you can upload it or use one of their pre-loaded ones. You can delete things if you desire. You can change these images to your own favorite anime figure colors. So that was a quick run through of their customization features. And if you ever need to like write stuff, there's lots of different command lines. So you can give yourself a bulleted list or other stuff, and it all auto adds into the template, so it's super easy to use. Now, if you want to download this template for yourself, let me actually move into an incognito browser so I can show you guys how to download it. Okay, so now that I'm in an incognito browser, let's say that you really like the template and you want to download it to use it to track the value of your anime figure collection and any other sort of other like figures you've prepaid for, as well as track the upcoming running value of your pre-orders. To download this template, pretend like I'm not the owner of this. What you're gonna do is you're just gonna hit duplicate. What that's gonna do is it's gonna duplicate this notebook into your own Notion account, and from there you can do whatever you please with it. And the reason why this template, by the way, is now dark, because actually my computer's on dark mode, and I'm a woman in STEM. I do coding for a living. I just can't look at a white screen. That's why it's dark. But Notion is nice because it will customize your view based on your system settings, but you can also change it to light mode or dark mode. That's just something good to know. But I'm back. Full screen Liba is back, and that is it for today's video. Let me know what you think of the template that I've created in the comments down below. I tried to keep it as simplistic as possible, but I do genuinely hope that it helps you tackle the task of collecting the value of your anime figure collection if that's something that you've been meaning to do. I hope I was able to make that process a bit more manageable and less stressful, because I know it is a pretty daunting task. And thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate all of the support that you guys have been giving my channel lately. You know, I love you, I care for you. I really do genuinely appreciate it. So if you liked this video, then comment down below and let me know if you're gonna be stressed about doing this, or if you're even gonna do it at all, I guess. But that is it for today's video. So I will talk to you guys next time, where I will be showing you guys the journey I went on for buying my first smart doll and customizing it. It's gonna be really fun. It's gonna be like a cutesy little vlog style video, so I'm pretty excited about it. But I'll talk to you later, okay? Bye!